One-point perspective is a drawing technique that shows how things appear to get smaller as they get further away, converging towards a single vanishing point. It is a way of drawing objects upon a flat piece of paper or other drawing surface so that they look three-dimensional and more realistic.
So here are the steps for how you can create a design that incorporates three-dimensional form, one-point perspective, and value all in the same design. So first you're going to want to create a vanishing point. That is just a small dot where all the lines are going to meet eventually. From here, you want to decide what shapes you're going to use. So you can either freehand your shapes, just drawing them, without a stencil or without a tracer, or you can use a stencil or a tracer. I have a couple of these in our classroom. They're just plastic stencils, and I think I'm going to stick with the squares. And then I'm just going to create or draw different size squares around that vanishing point. Probably not going to do the big one. I'll probably stick to either this one, or maybe this little one right here. After you draw or trace your shapes, then what you're going to do is start creating some of those receding lines from each corner of the shape down to the vanishing point. This is what's going to give the illusion of 3D form, and this is also what's going to give the illusion that the shapes are going back into space or coming up from the back of the space. So using a ruler, you're going to connect the corners of your shapes to the vanishing point. Now this takes a lot of, extra attention because you really want to line it up to be as exact as you can. So here I'm going to put my pencil point down at the corner first and then push the ruler up against my pencil point and then kind of move it around to where I see that the ruler overlaps with the vanishing point. And then I'm going to draw my line. So I'm going to do that for the next one over here. Put my pencil down, line my ruler up, push the ruler over, and then draw. And my last one here, pencil point down, ruler goes over, whoops, line it up with the vanishing point, and draw. Okay, and then you're going to repeat for all of those shapes. Okay, after you finish creating all of your receding lines to show that one-point perspective, then what we're going to do is use our skills that we've been working on, creating value and adding value to these forms to make it look a little bit more realistic. So if you remember from our unit on value, remember when the light is shining on something, okay, that is where it's going to be the lightest. So in this case, I'm imagining that the light is shining directly from the top. So the top of the shapes are all going to be the highlight or the lightest part. And then as we're getting away from the light source, which remember is at the top, the values are going to be darker where it gets towards the vanishing point, because that is where there is the least light. So your darker values or your shadows are going to be down towards the bottom.